think you have a great take on it.
Yeah. Okay. So everything I've said up to this point, uh, and herein is revealed, we are at paragraph 4 of section 3, paper 113. And herein is revealed the reason why the seraphic guardian eventually becomes the personal custodian of the mind patterns, memory formulas, and soul realities of the mortal survivor during that interval between physical death and Marancha resurrection. None but the ministering children of the infinite spirit could thus function in behalf of the human creature during this phase of transition from one level of the universe to another and higher level. Even when you engage in your terminal transition slumber, when you pass from time to eternity, a high supernifum likewise shares the transit with you as the custodian of creature identity and the surety of personal integrity.
What a great thought.
Yeah.
We're not alone.
On the spiritual level, seraphim make personal many otherwise impersonal and pre-personal ministries of the universe. They are coordinators. On the intellectual level, they are the correlators of mind and Marantia. They are interpreters. And on the physical level, they manipulate terrestrial environment through their liaison with the master physical controllers and through the cooperative ministry of the midway creatures. So they are coordinators, interpreters, and liaisons.
And how about that last sentence? On the physical level, they manipulate terrestrial environment.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, how
So
do they do that,
th
right?
they do mention that from time to time, and they also say that the midway creatures can do this too, but they are always very guarded about what they say about that. Mhm. So yeah, do you have any thoughts on that?
I wonder if we ever have gotten a glimpse of that, because it is the physical level they're talking about. Is that some of the strange things of Earth? Who knows? Is this any of the strange UFO type things people have seen? Who knows?
I wonder about those times when Gabriel and other, you know, spirit personalities have made themselves known to humans. I mean, we know about Gabriel coming to Mary, and was it Gabriel who also spoke with Elizabeth?
Wasn't it?
I can't recall, but and so there's I'm sure there's other times that this has happened too.
Well, there was a brief mention of Jesus having a conference that one of the late at night or something, one of the apostles witnessed. Uh,
Yeah, well, it was when he went up to is that what they call the Mount of Transfiguration when he met with um, uh, Melchizedek and was
yeah,
condemned?
I believe that's who he was meeting with. I don't remember where.
And Peter, James, and John were there, and they witnessed that.
Boy, that'd make you a believer, wouldn't
Oh yeah, yeah.
it?
This is a recital of the manifold and intricate function of an attending seraphim. But how does such a subordinate angelic personality, created but a little above the universe level of humanity, do such difficult and complex things? We do not really know, but we conjecture that this phenomenal ministry is in some undisclosed manner facilitated by the unrecognized and unrevealed working of the Supreme Being, the actualizing deity of the evolving universes of time and space. Throughout the entire realm of progressive survival in and through the Supreme Being, seraphim are an essential part of continuing mortal progression.
That he says that we do not really know. They're not all knowing, that's for sure, but they conjecture this. Okay, would you like me to read 4?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, seraphic domains of action. The guardian seraphim are not mind, though they do spring from the same source that also gives origin to mortal mind, the creative spirit. Seraphim are mind stimulators. They continually seek to promote circle-making decisions in human mind. They do this not as the adjuster operating from within and through the soul, but rather from the outside inward, working through the social, ethical, and moral environment of human beings. Seraphim are not the divine adjuster lure of the universal Father, but they do function as the personal agency of the ministry of the infinite Spirit. Every paragraph is so heavy. Um, they do this operating from the outside inward through the social, ethical, and moral environment. Hmm. Mortal man, subject to adjuster leading, is also amenable to seraphic guidance. The adjuster is the essence of man's eternal nature. The seraphim is the teacher of man's evolving nature. In this life, the mortal mind, in next, the mortal soul. On the mansion world, you will be conscious and aware of seraphic instructors, but in the first life, men are usually unaware of them. Seraphim function as teachers of men by guiding the footsteps of the human personality into paths of new and progressive experiences. To accept the guidance of a seraphim rarely means attaining a life of ease. In following this leading, you are sure to encounter, and if you have the courage, to traverse the rugged hills of moral choosing and spiritual progress. The impulse of worship largely originates in the spirit promptings of the higher mind adjutants, reinforced by the leadings of the adjuster. But the urge to pray, so often experienced by God conscious mortals, very often arises as the result of seraphic influence. The guardian seraphim is constantly manipulating the moral environment for the purpose of augmenting the cosmic insight of the human ascender to the end that such a survival candidate may acquire enhanced realization of the presence of the indwelling adjuster and thus be able to yield increased cooperation with the spiritual mission of the divine presence. While there is apparently no communication between the indwelling adjusters and the encompassing seraphim, they always seem to work in perfect harmony and exquisite accord. The guardians are most active at those times when the adjusters are least active, but their ministry is in some manner strangely correlated. Such superb cooperation could hardly be either accidental or incidental. So awesome, isn't it? The ministering personality of the guardian seraphim, the God presence of the indwelling adjuster, the encircuited action of the Holy Spirit, and the Son consciousness of the Spirit of truth are all divinely correlated into a meaningful unity of spiritual ministry in and to a mortal personality. Though hailing from different sources and different levels, these celestial influences are all integrated in the enveloping and evolving presence of the Supreme Being. So much to unpack in every paragraph. See how long five. So I'll do five here. Seraphic ministry to mortals. Angels do not invade the sanctity of the human mind. They do not manipulate the will of mortals. Neither do they directly contact with the indwelling adjusters. The guardian of destiny influences you in every possible manner consistent with the dignity of your personality. Under no circumstances do these angels interfere with the free action of the human will. Neither angels nor any other order of universe personality have power or authority to curtail or abridge the prerogatives of human choosing. Angels are so near you and care so feelingly for you that they figuratively weep because of your willful intolerance and stubbornness. Seraphim do not shed physical tears. They do not have physical bodies, neither do they possess wings, but they do have spiritual emotions and they do experience feelings and sentiments of a spiritual nature, which are in certain ways comparable to human emotions. The seraphim act in your behalf quite independent of your direct appeals. They are executing the mandates of their superiors, and thus they function regardless of your passing whims or changing moods. This does not imply that you may not make their tasks either easier or more difficult, but rather the angels are not directly concerned with your appeals or with your prayers. In the life of the flesh, the intelligence of angels is not directly available to mortal men. They are not overlords or directors, they are simply guardians. The seraphim guard you. They do not seek directly to influence you. You must chart your own course, but these angels then act to make the best possible use of the course you have chosen. They do not ordinarily arbitrarily intervene in the routine affairs of human life, but when they receive instructions from their superiors to perform some unusual exploit, you may rest assured that these guardians will find some means of carrying out these mandates. They do not, therefore, intrude into the picture of human drama except in emergencies, and then usually on the direct order of their superiors. They are the beings who are going to follow you for many an age, and they are thus receiving an introduction to their future work and personality association. Seraphim are able to function as material ministers to human beings under certain circumstances, but their action in this capacity is very rare. They are able, with the assistance of the midway creatures and the physical controllers, to function in a wide range of activities in behalf of human beings, even to make actual contact with humankind, but such occurrences are very unusual. In most instances, the circumstances of the material realm proceed unaltered by seraphic action, although occasions have arisen involving jeopardy to vital links in the chain of human evolution, in which seraphic guardians have acted, and properly, on their own initiative. Would you care to read? Are you done? What do you feel like?
Well, I wanted to maybe talk about this, speculate. Um, working with the physical controllers and the midwayers, um, someone's in the bookstore and the Urantia book falls off the shelf, or
Mhm.
you know,
Or they just get a feeling, I should pick up this book.
yeah, yeah,
And maybe not just the Urantia book. There's all kinds of books that might be influencing people.
that's true.
Or in this case, maybe other things like we got the internet now. Maybe they're doing it through that too.
Well, I can't help. I mean, how could they not take advantage of the internet? I mean, I think I go to YouTube for two fundamental reasons. One, to listen to music. Maybe I hear something on the radio and I want to hear more about um, that, you know, that artist. Uh, and I also look to see highlights of University of Tennessee basketball games, okay,
Okay.
and baseball and softball games.
Sure.
And in the process,
Mm.
every now and then, I see something else totally unrelated that catches my eye. And so I watch it and listen to it. Um, so
Yes.
are these our Seraphim and Midwayers working through our internet? Just
I've ever since I discovered this book when I was a teenager, I've always thought about this stuff and how it's important to I think of it as like let my mind be kind of blank when I'm searching for something or trying to come up with a thought, or if I'm even searching on the internet. I try to blank myself out and hopefully let them do their work. And so it's a physical actual process that I try to put myself into, hoping that they'll use the tools available to give me a direction, a thought, an initiative.
yeah.
And perhaps, there'll be, a lot of thumbnails on there, like for YouTube. And uh, rather than actually them like putting the one in front of you you need to look at, they are influencing your mind if you'll quit thinking about dinner and everything else for a minute and help you find the right thing to look at.
You're going to have to excuse me. I'm listening to you, but I
Okay.
also just got a response from Vicky Penner. She's
Okay.
she's not going to make it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to,
Maybe she'll want to see it online in her spare time. Hmm.
perhaps I've started a response to her, and I'm going to
Okay.
point out to her. Oh, I'm not going to finish it now. I'm going to point out to her that we have had these discussions about another night, and that everything points to Tuesday night as the best case scenario. If we do change, and I'm going to ask her if Tuesday nights would be better for her than Wednesday nights. I have no idea what her work schedule is like. She's a social worker,
Okay.
um, and I don't know if Tuesday nights is any better or worse than Wednesday nights for her. But
Mm.
she said something about running a little late tonight, and and of course, you know, being a social worker probably isn't a 9 to 5 job.
I'm sure.
So yeah. So what do you want? Do you want to continue or?
Well, I don't want to get too far ahead of everybody else if we get more people next time. that was a few chapters if they wouldn't take long to peruse if somebody desires to, if you post it or whatever, email it,
Yeah.
and give them kind of an idea of a few things we looked at and thought about and talked about. And we can start with six next time, what, in a couple of weeks?
Yes.
This is really one of the most fascinating papers, I think. It tells us a lot of things that we are in the dark about that really matters to us, and the translation process is a biggie that we don't want to go too fast over this material and really absorb what they're saying is going on. So
Yeah.
I like the idea of stopping here and letting them absorb some of this, whoever comes into our meeting.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop recording right now.